Hello and welcome. Today's practice is going to be a bit of neck and shoulder and arm kind of work. I'm going to start off kneeling because I want a little bit of height for things. You can also do this sitting in a chair, or you can take a blanket and put it on top of your calves so that it gives the backs of your thighs something to rest on and keep you a little taller if it's too much on your knees. All right, so let's just get started by doing some gentle neck rolls. One more time to the other side. All right, you can come back to neutral. We're going to take our fingers, we're going to interlace them and push the palms away from the body, starting to lift the arms up overhead if that's available to you. We can add a bit of a side bend here, just being aware of it coming from the side body and not just tipping on your legs. Coming back up to center, letting those fingers come apart and doing a really slow lower with the fingers pulled back. We're going to go through different angles of some kind of nerve flossing, fascial pull kind of stuff. The hands are going to come together behind your back. Interlace the fingers again, sending your knuckles away from the ceiling towards the floor, opening up across the chest, lifting the sternum and gently looking upward. And then just see if you can move your hands away from your back a little bit towards the wall behind you. Let them come back. Let your fingers come apart. We're going to do that one more time. In the front, fingertips interlace, palms facing out, setting them up in front of you. Introducing a side bend. Inhaling back up through center. Exhaling, side bending to the other side. Inhaling up through center. Let the fingers part and do a very slow lower of the arms straight out to the side. Fingertips pulled back, wrists pulled back. Bringing the arms gradually behind you. Interlacing your fingers, sending your knuckles towards the floor as your chest opens, shoulders come back, sternum lifts, gaze moves upwards. Lifting those fingers away from your back, letting them return, and then slowly letting go of that clasp. All right, we are going to come into a tabletop position. So if you want to use your blanket to pad your knees, you can do that. We're going to find a nice tabletop position. Weight is distributed through your full palm and length of your fingers. Wrists are bent back a bit. If you need, you can add a little bit of cushion underneath to lift them. Elbows are stacked over wrists. Shoulders are stacked over elbows. Spine is straight. And we're going to play with some scapular push-ups. So that slow lowering of the chest towards the floor while the arms stay straight. And then that slow pushing away. Mindful that we're not doing a cat and cow motion, but we're also not doing a push-up. This is a scapular push-up, where as my torso lifts away from the floor, My scapula, my shoulder blades, are moving away from each other in the spine. And as my chest lowers to the floor, I'm letting my shoulder blades slide back. But being mindful that we want to try and keep that good connection between the shoulder blades and the rib cage. It's not a dumping, and we don't really want the shoulder blades winging and lifting away from the rib cage. Coming back to tabletop, we're going to gradually shift the weight into the right hand a little bit more as the left hand becomes lighter and starts to lift. Mindful that you don't lose that integrity, you don't hyperextend your elbow, you don't dump into your shoulder and lose that connection between your shoulder blade and your rib cage, and your spine doesn't start to curve. Return that left hand to the floor. It's now going to take more of the weight as the right hand lifts. Same idea. We're keeping that integrity throughout this movement. Bring that hand back down. We'll do a couple more scapular push-ups. Lowering the chest to the floor and then lifting it away with a neutral spine. Coming back to tabletop, we'll lift that left hand, place it back down, lift the right, place it back down. Couple more scapular push-ups. Down and up. Returning to tabletop. This time, if you want, when you lift that left hand, you can reach it forward as your right leg lifts out behind you. And the hope is that your arm, back, and raised leg create a straight line across. We can lower those back down. Shifting the weight into the left hand as the right hand reaches forward, left leg lifts, heel reaching for the wall behind you. Hand and knee return to the floor. Do the other side. Notice if, when you get the leg moving, if anything changes in the shape of your spine. Okay, hand and knee return to the floor. And one more time, right arm reaches forward, left leg reaches back. And come back down. Okay, we are going to lower ourselves to our belly. The left arm is going to reach out to the side. Your right hand is beside you, pressing into the floor gently as you start to lift away. You can send your leg back. And you don't have to go very far. And let your head relax on the floor. We're just going for a very gentle pulling and lengthening, opening across that left shoulder that's on the ground. You don't want to feel a lot of strain here. We're going to come out of that. Right arm is going to outstretch, left hand is planted on the floor to help push you up a little bit. Top leg can come up if you want. And we're going to come out of that. Both hands can rest just a little forward from your shoulders and out to the side. We're going to ground through the pubic bone into the floor and start to lift, using your spine at first to start lifting yourself up into a bit of a seal pose for a little bit of a back extension here. All right, we can slowly lower back down. Get your hands a little more under your shoulders. Push yourself up onto your knees. Returning to a kneeling upright position. A couple shoulder rolls back. A couple of neck rolls around. All right. Thank you for moving with me today. I'll see you next time.